Welcome to the Scrapyard. I'm your host, BC.
And I'm Flaming Bees.
I'm Aladar.
I'm the Savage.
And tonight's episode, we are talking the figures that we know for a fact are never going to get made. It's pretty self-explanatory. So, if neither one of you guys have anything to say immediately, I'll go first. Here is the thing. When it came to this topic, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go into this with the same level of disdain towards the lack of love for specific parts of the franchise, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to be real when I say everything that I'm saying, it's not because I'm not a fan of these characters. It's because even though I love them, I know for a fact they're never going to happen because what have I already stated with the Unicron trilogy MP scale?
The fandom lives and dies by the sacred toy commercial.
Pretty much. The fan base lives and dies on G1. That being said, where is my MP scale Fire Convoy? I'd love to have one.
Where's my MP scaled Scorponok? Because they haven't done any of those yet either.
And where's my MP scaled Waspinator? Although I feel like that still could be a possibility.
Technically speaking, you could cheat and just get the Titan Scorponok. You could.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
It kind of is, because there's just no way that anybody's going to grow the balls to make an MP scale Scorponok.
Are we forgetting Unicron? Are we forgetting HasLab Unicron already?
He doesn't count as a masterpiece.
He may as well be.
Except he's not. They made it abundantly clear he's not.
He's just huge.
They made him huge for the sake of making him huge, and they also made him huge for the sake of using the size as a selling point for you to pay $575 fucking dollars. But we're not going to get into that argument.
Imagine if they've released like an MP scale line for that. It's like MP Unicron. We're gonna make the whole ass planet ourselves.
How the fuck would that even work at this point?
They partnered up with a certain party. I'm not going to say anything because that will lead you to a giant debate that will get us all demonetized and removed. Anyway, we're continuing on.
Lab.
Shh.
Anyways, so any of you guys have anything that you want to say?
I have two things that are not Transformers related I know will never happen that I'd like to see.
Okay, what are they?
Firstly, rather obscure, not even you three knew about it, either re-releases or updates to the original toy line for Extreme Dinosaurs. Seeing them and the Reckless Raptors will be pretty cool. And then updated or reissued versions of the action figures from the 90s Marvel's cartoons.
Like,
just imagine how cool it would be to have that Hobgoblin design.
Hobgoblin design
from the Fox Kids Spider-Man.
So just Green Goblin,
but
more tanned.
Alan?
Yes?
Did you already forget that Marvel Legends is doing a classic animated series Spider-Man line.
I did not even know about that to begin with, so I will retract that for Spidey at least until I see them do X-Men and Iron Man.
They did.
Okay, I'll shut up and retract that one entirely. Extreme Dinosaurs is my only one. If anyone knows it in the comments, please tell me, because I feel so alone.
I'm going to send another attack at Hasbro. Hey, Hasbro, where's my light speed?
So I'm going to go ahead and mute him real quick.
No roasting, he says. No roasting on here, he says.
All jokes aside, Hasbro has made it abundantly clear they're not going to be starting any more new teams until they start really finishing the ones they already started, and even then, they're fucking struggling in that department.
Where's the rest of SPD? Am I right?
Actually, we're literally only one away.
Oh. Who's the team where they only have like 2 or 3 besides Dino Thunder?
Time Force.
There we go. Where's the rest of Time Force?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Wes? Because he's all alone.
Wah, wah, wah.
I bet you missed his Jen.
How about we also ask Dino Charge? Where's the rest of their team at?
Well, next wave, we're getting Dino Charge Green, so that's Hasbro basically telling you, fuck right off.
What about Beast Morphers?
They kind of just gave up on that.
I mean, they only have Beast Morphers red, blue, and gold. Still lacking silver and yellow.
Yeah, that's what's making it so funny to me.
They just gave up.
They just gave up on Beast Morphers. We're not getting... The fact that we haven't even gotten an update on them just goes to show they literally are not... They don't care about Beast Morphers at this point.
And for Dino Thunder, we're just lacking yellow and...
Black.
And black.
I kind of have the theory on how they're going to do black, but I'll retract that for right now.
Be cool to get Mesogog and Zeltrax figures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced that Dino Thunder Black is going to be a versus pack.
With Zeltrax?
Yeah.
That would make sense. Then they'll give him an individual release.
Where's that? If we're going to at least go with our current line, then I'm going to say this, even though I know I don't really care for the season. Where's our Lost Galaxy Green?
I want to say he's somewhere down the line.
And are we ever going to get a Magna Defender figure that comes with a helmetless Mike head sculpt?
No, because in the show he never wore just the suit without the helmet.
Right, but still...
And since that never happened, it made no sense doing the civilian head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a weird image in my head right now.
What?
Just seeing that, like, if they did, and if he actually did take off the helmet at any point in time during it. It's a weird image. It's a weird visual in my head. Anyway.
A figure I hope we get once the team gets started, because it would make so much sense, is Zanaku from Wild Force.
Oh, yes.
We're moving on.
Oh, shoot. That he should come in a versus pack. Zanaku versus Derek. The silver...
I would still be starting another team, and that we don't have that exactly that team yet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, whatever they do.
Anyway, like BC said, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Ezra? What do you mean, B? Buddy.
Hey.
What do you want that you know for a fact is never going to happen?
Lightning Collection morphers from each season. I mean, I know. I mean, I love Mighty Morphin as much as everyone else because of nostalgia, but I mean, like, I feel like I feel like I could just be the minority here when it comes to fans and consumers. I want Lightning Collection style versions of, let's say chronologically, of the Zeonizers, the Gold Ranger. Heck, you can make a toy version of his Morpher that was never in the show. The Gold Power Staff. The Heck, we still need a Tommy Oliver version of the Power Morpher that they did last year. I want to be able to like get some of the morphers I never got and was able to enjoy as a kid. And I want updated versions of the ones that I do happen to have in my possession, which are old enough to drink at this point, like the Digimorpher, the Silver Space Rangers morpher. How long ago did Wild Force come out? Has it been 20 years yet or no?
Wild Force was 2 years after Lightspeed, so
Okay,
Next year it turns 20.
Yeah, that's definitely not quite drinking age yet, but yeah, like I want morphers. I want to be able to get some of the old morphers from previous seasons without having to spend $200+ to say obtain the Astromorpher. I just want to be able to just slap it on and be like, let's rock it. 3, 3, 5. Dude, I want to be able to do that, but Hasbro, can you make that happen, please? In Space is definitely one of the more popular seasons, is it not?
They do recognize the fact that In Space is one of the more popular seasons entirely because of the fact that In Space is basically, announcement-wise, we're one away from a complete In Space team.
Yeah, definitely want the morphers. I want a proper SPD morpher too. I remember buying one pre-owned off of someone, but the electronics were crap.
I
want that. And another thing I want, Lightning Collection transformable Zords and Megazords from other seasons.
From a reputable source, how do I put this?
they're working on it.
Our first Lightning Collection Zord may very well be the Dragon Zord.
That's what I have heard. I heard the rumors.
And if the rumors are also true, combinable.
I imagine with the Dynamegazord they released last year.
No, this would be for the Lightning Collection, not.
What could it possibly combine with, though?
It could combine with things to come.
Fair enough.
I want them to do like that line they did when Samurai was going on. They had this little game they made because they've embraced the thought of people getting creative with their Zords and whatnot. So as a Nickelodeon game, they released a Create a Zord page. I want them to do that for the figures. Like you want to combine the Green Power Rangers Dragon Zord with the the Lightspeed Red fire truck. Let's do something with that.
So
full combination.
So bring back amongst the Power Rangers fan base, a very universally hated gimmick.
It would work better now than it would then.
If I'm hearing this properly, it sounds like Power Rangers meets Scramble City.
That's basically what Bandai was trying to do, and they failed horrifically.
Well, they didn't have the power of Hasbro and Transformers. Now they do.
Yeah, and in 2010, they had like some kind of mix and morph type of thing, kind of like the Ben 10 like combining alien gimmick that they had, only as Power Rangers. You had a little combiner based thing that was shaped like the dragon, like a Tommy's Morpher, combining like Rangers and Zord components together. And I think they had like some kind of like action figure line where like different Megazords, Zords, and Rangers, you could pop off their limbs, swap them. I think they had a gimmick like that.
Yeah, you were right. It was the mix and morphs.
Either way, my point still stands. Even though it's not a toy, it's not a specific toy. It's going to be a good toy line.
I'm hesitant with Hasbro because if they deliberately choose to bring back the Zord Builder gimmick, they would literally be shooting themselves in the foot.
But we know they can do it because they do it all the time with Transformers. Look
Then, look at Combiner Wars. Look at how many of those combiners barely stood up. Whether they can do the full transformation and still be posable or not, if they can't hold together, what chance do they have at doing Zord Builder? I mean, I get that it would be cool to see them do it, but with Hasbro's track record, man, I don't know.
It's a 50-50 coin flip.
It especially when it comes to Hasbro, it honestly is. They've been if it's a 6-inch posable action figure that doesn't require a super intelligent gimmick or anything like that, they knock that shit out of the park every time. It's just, I haven't messed with the Dino Fury Zords yet. I want to, but I got a chance to mess with the combining Beast Morpher Zords at one of the toy shops I visit, and let me tell you, that thing was not worth the hype that reviewers were giving it.
Yeah, man. All right, the Beast Morphers Beast X Ultra Zord. I have the Amazon exclusive gift set, and yeah, it is kind of flimsy. But I just happen to have the Hasbro Dino Fury Megazord here. Pretty damn solid. That's one of the things I definitely praise it for, and praise Hasbro for when they did this. The additional articulation. Yeah, so this I definitely, if you can't get your hands on the Japanese one, this is a good substitute. So yeah, I think they do have potential if they put their mind to it. They just don't need to cut. They just shouldn't cut corners, you know. But there's no promises there because this is Hasbro we're talking about.
Right.
Anyways, back on track. I would love to see NP scale Autobot Brothers.
MP
want to see
Skybite.
I was going to say that, damn it. How about the trio Predacons as well?
Slapper, Gas Skunk, and Dark Scream.
Yeah.
I still need to watch our ID.
I wish they will do an updated deluxe or not deluxe because that cannot be deluxe. A either Voyager leader or what's our big class Titan?
Titan, yes.
Do a Titan updated version because I'm going to say Titan because it sounds right. Tidal Wave. Or at least leader. Or at least liter.
I would agree more with leader, personally.
Because, dude, Tidal Wave does not get as much love as a lot of other characters do.
And I do agree with you on that. But here's the thing. Everybody, for whatever fucking reason, is clamoring for Titan-class Tidal Wave. If they do a reference to Armada and they include the few characters that could combine with each other, You make a Titan class tidal wave, you are basically throwing away a combining gift.
Yeah, burning Megatron won't be able to happen.
Because at most, Megatron is going to be a void. I'm calling it now.
So leader to supreme sized tidal wave makes sense under that context.
Exactly.
In fact, wasn't he originally a supreme?
No.
Since Armada's toy line was weird.
If memory serves me right, I believe Tidal Wave was sold as a Voyager.
It's really weird.
I'll look.
It is super weird because I've seen him compared to some bigger bots, and he's around the size of Super Screamer.
Okay, so to throw in the wording here, since the back then we don't have deluxe, Voyager later labels, we have Supercon, MaxCon, and GigaCon. And I guess GigaCon is our leaders. And by the looks of it, Tidal Wave was a GigaCon. Alongside Megatron.
Okay, and Megs was a leader, so that makes sense then. Yeah, okay, I'll shut up. Maybe it was a KO tidal wave I saw.
Then it might very well have been. Now, if there's one that I will blatantly agree needs to be a Titan class, it absolutely needs to be Cybertron Metroplex.
Yes.
Like, there's no excuse for him to not be obnoxiously massive.
He was huge in the TV show.
If they were to ever make that, I imagine that in order for him to be incredibly huge and scale accurate, HasLab.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm calling it now.
You got to bear in mind the HasLab projects are not chosen just to fill specific slots.
They're carefully chosen.
Why do you think Victory Saber is becoming a thing? Because we all bitched, moaned, and complained that we need Star Saber. We weren't even asking for a Victory Leo. All we wanted was a Star Saber, myself included. For the longest time, I was literally begging Hasbro, make us a fucking Star Saber. Like, we've made it abundantly clear we're familiar with those characters. If you didn't feel that these characters were marketable, you wouldn't have okayed them to be in the comics.
I even remember back when Power of the Primes was happening, you were steaming like crazy that they didn't try to do Star Saber with the leader class figures.
No, I was steamed because Primal beat him. That pissed me off. We're literally the only reason why Primal won was because 90s nostalgia kicked in.
Ah.
That was the only reason why he won. Because if we went entirely based on who was the better character, Star Saber would have won hands down. You cannot argue me on this.
Something else I want to bring up. This is something I've seen fan page bring up a couple times on Twitter. Where the hell is the Armada Prime that we saw the prototype for?
It's not canceled. It's just shelved right now. We're not sure when we're going to see it.
Sure seems like he's been canceled.
I don't know, man. What do you want me to say?
They're going to release it next week?
For you, buddy, they're releasing it tomorrow.
Just for you, man. Just right now.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Shut the fuck up. Leave us alone.
So it will be. I don't feel so.
He didn't go south.
Great, we don't have the Savage anymore.
Bearing in mind, the Savage is not allowed to roast anybody currently.
Tempting.
I heavily advise do not give him reason, especially on my show.
Just for those who don't have any context, that's basically how me and him go back and forth.
And mostly it's him being on a losing streak. Anyway.
That being said, man, I am going to hurt the feelings of a lot of people.
Oh, no.
Mine are hurt already.
I feel triggered already.
I feel like it would be awesome to see the Unicron Trilogy guys show up in the main line again. I feel like we need to just shelve them. Because look at how many times Hasbro has tried to show some level of to the Unicron Trilogy. And, like, literally look at how hard it tanks.
Good point. Generations Armada Starscream didn't seem to do all that well, did he?
He really didn't. And it made me mad because I loved that toy when I had it.
The Megatron did even worse, if I'm not mistaken.
That's because they chose to shoehorn that in to a mold where it was never meant to be in.
I mean, yeah, but still.
Why the fuck did they take the mold that was clearly meant to be IDW Megatron and try to shoehorn in an Armada Megatron? Why?
Because we're full of dumb decisions.
Yeah, that sweet dollar.
They're going to milk a mold for as much as possible. I understand that. But when you are going to go that fucking far left of the original source material, don't even bother with it at that point. Especially when further down the line, you took that same general concept and actually did it right. Like, this is why I don't have any faith in Hasbro when it comes to Transformers anymore. It's because of the blatantly obvious dumb decisions they make. It's why I do this now. There's smart decisions made with almost every release that's made. There's some level of thought that goes into how they work. They don't sacrifice the puzzle aspect of this for the sake of a gimmick.
If you want something like that, if you want something where the puzzle aspect is sacrificed for a gimmick, go look at Armada Hotshot.
No, you want a figure that is the perfect example of sacrificing functionality for nothing but gimmicks. Armada Scavenger, Armada Sideswipe,
Armada Hoist,
all of Energon, Fight Me.
The Autobot combinations are fun, but I see your point.
What about figures that are not from the Unicron?
No. This is coming from a combiner addict. Bear that in mind.
What are some figures that are like that are not from the Unicron trilogy? Because I'm having a hard time relating with it. So I'm sure there are other people who are watching that wouldn't be able to relate as well.
How about we get a figure from? How about we pick some Transformer Prime figures then?
That's very difficult to do because
we could get a better Arachnid.
I would love to see a better Arachnid, yes, but here's the thing: she's like the only figure where it's blatantly obvious she's a bad figure. She's literally the only one.
And also to give the audience a connection point, or try to, think of Armada Scavenger like the old motorized Trypticon and Omega Supreme from Generation 1.
That's not the point Ezra was getting at.
You're saying
Sorry.
you're saying continue on to the next point of the part, like make other figures we want that are probably not going to happen.
No, I meant like what I was getting at is like you guys are talking about like figures that sacrifice. Yeah, they're just like too gimmicky. That just overly gimmicky Transformers figures, and they're all like Unicron trilogy figures. What about figures from other toy lines?
Beast Machines.
Yeah, but even then, even if we were to include Beast Machines, at least those had some level of dignity to include some level of articulation.
Yeah, but
Armada and Energon heavily sacrificed all of that. And
As a unit,
I deem Unicron trilogy to the level that I do because of the fact that literally later on down the line, the reason why I don't scrutinize any of the other toy lines, a la Cybertron, the movie lines, animated, the only reason why I don't bring any of those into these conversations is because they don't follow that same formula. They don't. They just don't.
As much as
Cybertron's figures actually fucking had articulation to go along with their gimmick.
Like I've been trying to say, as much as I love the entirety of the Unicron trilogy, I have to admit Cybertron is the better of the three because they found that balance you were mentioning.
Exactly. As soon as Cybertron exploded onto the scene, for lack of a better term, that's a toy line that came out fucking swing. And every figure at every turn just got better. And for the most part, they kept that balance all the way through to animated. And even then, animated started to get really unique with how the transformations work. Where even though some of them, clearly they had a gimmick to them, it didn't affect the figure.
Voyager Starscream, for example.
Yes, as ridiculous as that design may look at the way that whole thing transforms. Look at all the gimmicks it has, and it still works like a champ.
I guess I can also verify on that one as well. Deluxe Ratchet from Animated. I had him for a bit. His arms did the things.
The magnets.
Yeah.
I mean, as inaccurate as they were to the show, they still were a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we know for a fact Hasbro can do better. We've seen them do better.
We just need them to.
We need them to get back to, I'm going to admit this is very, very petty of me. But until I see the return of those glory days, there's no chance in hell Hasbro's getting me back. I don't know what you want me to say at this point.
Along with that glory days mentioning, bring back the durability the toys used to have.
Thank you! I've been trying to tell people for fucking years. You want to know one thing that would have made Combiner Wars fucking perfect right out the gate, where every figure would have been a fucking knockout?
If they were durable.
If they were built with the same build quality of the Revenge of the Fallen toys. And how everybody kept telling me if they were built like that, they would have been a sloppy mess. No, they fucking wouldn't have. How many of the fucking Prime figures that we've gotten over time got loose to fucking shit?
Never really.
Most of my Prime collection, but that's for a very specific reason.
I'm talking Optimus Prime.
Oh, Optimus Prime. Okay.
Never really.
Revenge of the Fallen leader class Optimus Prime. I believe my point's been made.
Aside from the fact that mine's falling apart, I can agree with you.
Yeah, but let's be real. You have your stimmy moments, so he's probably seen a lot of play with it.
For those that don't know what stimmy means, I'm on the autism spectrum.
And no, I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm saying that because he shared this information with me before. I'm well aware of it. I'm just letting him know that in this regard, it's a very different case with him.
Yeah.
The case with me, as much as I love flipping that thing back and forth, it went up on a fucking shelf when I was done.
I think it was a nightmare to transform for the first time, but
For the first time, yes. But when you got the hang of it, was it not intriguing and interesting and fucking cool?
exactly.
I must be one of the only ones that didn't think he was a nightmare to switch the first time.
Never had him, so I wouldn't know.
My ultimately at the end of the day, the point I'm getting at with it is I don't want to hear no bullshit that if Combiner Wars had the same level of build quality of the Revenge of the Fallen toys, that the Combiners would have been a floppy mess. You're full of shit. You're fucking sitting here and you're settling. You're just settling. You are turning a blind eye to the fact that Hasbro lost their way.
It could be argued that they started losing it around the Power Core Combiners era and then just completely lost it in Dark of the Moon.
I see why you would make that argument. I do. I really, truly do. But here's the thing. At least with Dark of the Moon, the leaders were at least done right. And
Good point.
to some extent, the Voyagers.
I can only speak on one Voyager who couldn't handle my stimminess, but I can definitely say the leaders, yes, because I have Hyde and he's fantastic.
I have Sentinel Prime. He is a nightmare to transform, so I haven't messed with him at all since like the first few times I transformed him after I got him. And one thing I miss about Voyager class figures is how big and chunky they used to be. They used to be tall, used to have gimmicks, used to feel solid. But now they're just like, hey, this is the Voyager class that we're going to call a leader class now.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of something. I was on a podcast a long time ago called Prehistoric News, right? There was a point where we made the joke where my co-host Super Z-Man 85 was holding up the Cyberverse Cliff Jumper from Transformers Prime and said that would be the new leader class in the future.
He's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong.
This will be a deluxe. This will be a Voyager leader.
Yeah, soon my interrogator barricade that's standing in front of me is going to be the leader class size.
So, Beans, you got choppy on me, so could you tell me again what your point was?
He was going along with the joke.
Yeah. The point basically was that not only are we seeing them decrease in build quality, but we're seeing them decrease in size at an exponential rate. They used to be built so well and they felt good to handle. Like, as much as I love Defensor from Combiner Wars, I'll take Cybertron Crumple Zone in terms of how they feel to handle any day over him.
It's like night and day. And I've been like, it took me so long to realize I've been settling for Hasbro's bullshit with their Transformers. And I realize, and I am very well aware, Siege has definitely stepped up in the quality department. Like, the War for Cybertron trilogy, as confusing as it is, it's gone to show they put build quality above it. But even then, I would take Unicron Trilogy's worst brick over any of either Earthrise or kingdom's best leaders.
Who was the worst brick in Armada now that you bring it up?
Wouldn't that be Scavenger? Because he was literally just...
Scavenger.
Okay.
Because he was literally brick.
Every single time I bring this up, I always get the same people that come to me and tell me Scavenger was a good figure. No, he wasn't. That being said, this leads into another thing that I would love to see happen that I know for a fact fucking won't.
An update to him.
An update to him, either in the NP scale or the chug scale. Why? Simple. Because then we would actually get the cartoon design that we deserve.
Why do I get the feeling that if that happened, so many people would just start bitching because he looks like a Constructicon and he's an Autobot?
Alan?
Yeah.
Don't make me want to crack people upside the head right now.
There's also one other character I kind of want to see. I mean, he already technically exists, but I want to see it made as the toy because I know they've done it in terms of studio series with a different character. I want them to make Thundercracker from the comics of the movie series.
I could have sworn they did that already.
Did they? No. Okay, not it. Okay, in the comics though, Thundercracker was not the same design as Starscream. He was never Dorito.
They did a redeco in studio series of Nitro Zeus to make Thundercracker.
Yeah, that's not. He doesn't look the same though. He had a very distinctive look. If you look up Thundercracker from the comics.
I've never read the movie comics, but I want to.
Thundercracker. Why did I type that? Thundercracker.
I realize we got derailed a bunch, but let's give it one more go with at least one more thing that we would love to see that we know for a fact is never going to happen, and that I will take it upon myself to announce next week's topic.
Okay, I'm going to say something that is going to draw a lot of ire from BC.
Uh-oh.
I want to see a properly done figure for Final Fantasy 13 Odin. He's a summon that's a transformer that turns into a horse.
Okay.
The reason I thought that would draw so much hell from you is because it's Final Fantasy.
Honestly, dude, I think that'd be pretty neat.
Okay, I found the thing I was talking about.
Okay, that would be sick.
In the comics, and they did a toy line in the movie where we had Protoform Starscream. Do that, but turn him Thundercracker.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
That is word for word that Protoform Starscream figure. Maybe a little more spikes. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we already have like millions of Thundercrackers, but we don't have one of that fucking comic. You know, we got a thrust from Studio Series that was from a one scene bit in fucking Bumblebee.
He's got a point there. Why not?
They already have the fucking, mold. Or at least they should have the mold store somewhere. Why not? They're right there saying, why not?
Wait. We have a comment here. Next week's topic, resolve it once and for all. Energon Roadblock is a reformatted Inferno or a separate character. He's a reformatted Inferno canonically.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I hate to break it to you, Prince, but that's really not a debate for next week at all. Period. Zip. Not a man. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what Roadblock is.
Roadblock. How much of Energon did you watch?
Not much at all.
I'm not even going to bother explaining it right now. Then I'll tell you later. Either Alan or I will tell you later. Just
How much do you give a damn about spoilers?
I want to watch it, so don't say anything.
All right.
then watch it.
Also, I think this is. May I say this, even though this is. Let me just say this right now in terms of this exact stream series. I think that's the first audience we actually have.
No, we've
No,
had
we've
audience
done it
members
before.
before.
I haven't seen any of the things. Anyway,
Thank you for
Anyway.
your comments, Prince.
Yes, thank you very much, man.
we should definitely set that up next time. Have someone watch the thing.
Anywho,
with that said,
Any other characters, or are we getting close on the exhaust tubes there?
yeah, the BC looks ready to fall asleep.
no, I'm trying to think. I had something in mind, but I got derailed.
Oh, I just thought of this. I'm so sorry.
What?
Updated sets for the original Bionicle figures.
Bionicle G2, get out of here. We're done.
I mean, like the original
No,
designs.
no.
Hold on, I'll do
We're
on
done.
Alan better. Hold on, I'll do Alan better. Technics. The ancestors of the Bionicles.
Technic's still around.
Not really, no. I'm not the ones I'm referring to.
Anyway, let him try and figure out what he was going to say.
No, it's done for. It's done
Sorry.
for. All right. Well, I think it's time to draw this to a close. For those who are watching this after the fact, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening to us ramble and bitch about a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, that's it. So I've been BC.
And Flaming Bees.
I'm Aladar.
I've been the Savage.
We'll catch you guys next time.